heat transfer. Whether my voice is audible and can you see my presentation? Please let me
Yes, sir.
know. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Great. So, in the last lecture, we have discussed something about the thermal conductivity, and you have better known about this particular terminology, that is nothing but a thermal conductivity. Okay, so we have defined this thermal conductivity in the last lecture, and for the understanding purpose, we have considered only the same law, that is nothing but Fourier's law of heat conduction, and from that Fourier's law we get the equation as q is equal to minus k multiply by a multiply by dt divided by dx, where q is nothing but what? Heat transfer rate. K is the constant that we called as a thermal conductivity of a material, whereas a is the perpendicular surface area for the heat flow direction, and dt divided by dx, that is nothing but change in temperature with respect to change in length or change in distance, which is also called as, this particular terminology dt divided by dx is also called as a temperature gradient. Okay, now to derive the unit of this particular thermal conductivity, that is nothing but k, we have to take the help of this Fourier's law only, and we have rearranged this equation in the form of a k. Okay, for that purpose we have transfer all the parameters on left hand side, and we have converted this particular equation in the form of a k. Okay, so k will be equal to q divided by a multiplied by dx divided by dt, and the remaining part is only the negative sign. We have understood that why this particular negative sign is there, because this dt, that is change in temperature, is always T2 minus T1. Okay, but our heat is flowing from T1 to T2. Okay, so higher temperature region to the lower temperature region, but for the sake of this particular mathematical equation, we are taking T2 minus T1, so that this dt will be negative. Okay, and to absorb this negative sign, we have provided one extra negative sign over here, so that is the significance of this negative sign. Okay, now here in this equation, why there is no signature of the minus? Because we have considered that this negative sign is absorbed over here in this particular dt terminology, and so that here there is no negative sign. So k unit will be we have the k unit we have to derive. So q, that is the heat transfer rate unit, is watt. Area unit is meter square, multiplied by dx is change in length, so length unit is meter, and dt, that is change in temperature, its unit will be degree celsius, or the unit we have to consider as a degree kelvin also. So both the units are satisfying for this particular k terminology. No problem, if you are using degree celsius you can use it. If you want to use the degree kelvin, then also you can use it. So there is no particular difference if you use the degree celsius or a degree kelvin. Okay, because we are taking the difference. Okay, temperature difference. So in first temperature you are adding 273 minus second temperature you are adding 273. So there will not be change in we are taking the difference only, so there will not be change in quantity, so quantity will remain same. So we will get the k unit as watt per meter square multiplied by meter divided by degree celsius or degree kelvin. Okay, so we can use the unit as watt per meter degree celsius or watt per meter degree kelvin. Okay, so this both the units you can use. Okay, so then we have derived that or we have understood the definition of a thermal conductivity. Actually I have to mention that it is a property of any substance. Okay, it is one kind of a property of substance. Okay, so like we are considering that the resistance of a substance, then we are considering that thermal diffusivity, then we can consider that there are multiple properties, we know that uh, for any substance, and in a similar manner this particular thermal conductivity is the property of a substance. Okay, and it is a specific property at a specific temperature. It will not change if you are saying the same substance and there are different positions, then also the thermal conductivity will remain same. It will not change. Okay. So for if you are considering the same properties, or we can say that same microstructure for particular substance at any location, then you will get the same thermal conductivity. So it is a property of a substance and it will not change. Okay, but it changes with respect to a temperature, and depends on a microstructure, depends on impurities present in that particular substance. Okay, so as we have discussed also that as the metal if you are adding the impurities in a base metal, then its thermal conductivity goes on decreasing. Okay, so the thermal conductivity is nothing but the ability of a material to transfer the heat. How fast the material will transfer the heat, that ability is nothing but a thermal conductivity. Okay, ability to transfer the heat. Okay, that is nothing but a thermal conductivity in a simple language. Okay, in a simple language. So here for the understanding purpose, we have defined this particular thermal conductivity in the form of a heat transfer rate. When k is equal to 1, okay, at that time q is equal to 1. When it will be happen? When the perpendicular surface area is equal to 1 and this dt divided by dx is equal to 1, at that time we will get the k is equal to 1. Okay, or else we can say that k is equal to q. Okay, k is equal to q when a is equal to 1, dx divided by dt is equal to 1, or dt divided by dx is equal to 1. Okay, at that time k is equal to q. So on that basis only we have defined this particular thermal conductivity. So this thermal conductivity can be defined as amount of heat energy conducted through a body of a unit area and the unit thickness in unit time when the difference in temperature between the phases causing heat flow is unit temperature difference. Okay, so we are saying that if k is greater, in that case if you consider this particular equation, k is greater, then this q value will be higher one. Okay, and the k will be small, at that time q value will be low. So we can say that the material with high thermal conductivity are good conductors of a heat. Means what? If thermal conductivity is more, at that time that particular material will transfer maximum amount of heat. Okay, at that time that particular material will transfer the maximum amount of heat. If the thermal conductivity is less, at that time that particular material will transfer lesser amount of heat. Okay, that particular material will transfer the lesser amount of heat. So that higher thermal conductivity materials called as a good conductors of a heat. Higher thermal conductivity materials called as a good conductors of a heat, whereas the material with a low thermal conductivity are good insulator. Opposite of conductor is nothing but an insulator. Okay, insulator means what? Which opposes to transfer of heat. That particular material is called as a insulator. Okay, which opposes or having less capability to transfer the heat, such a materials are called as a good insulators. Okay, so thermal conductivity, the material which is having low thermal conductivity called as a good insulator material, getting everyone? Now we know that for the most pure substance, radically the heat will transfer through that particular material. Means what? Fastly heat will transfer through that particular material, whereas in non-metals or in alloying materials, okay, alloying means what? We are adding the impurities in a base material, that is nothing but alloying. Okay, we are adding the impurities in a base material, that is nothing but alloy. So while if you consider the cast iron or cast iron base material, so the thermal conductivity of cast iron will be higher than the steel, whereas steel is one kind of a alloy of a cast iron, so the thermal conductivity of cast iron will be greater than the steel material. Okay, so the conductivity of heat occurs most radically in pure metals, less so in alloys, and much less in non-metals. Okay, so in non-metals also there are no free electrons available, so that the thermal conductivity of non-metals is also very low. So it is a property of a material depends essentially upon the following factor. Okay, it is a property, pure property of that particular specific substance, and depends on its microstructure. Okay, or we can say that material structure, then moisture content in that particular material, density of a material, and the operating factors are nothing but a pressure and temperature. These are the external factors, pressure and temperature. So the thermal conductivity also depends on an external factor, that is nothing but a pressure and temperature, and the material properties are nothing but material structure, moisture content, and density of a material. These are the material properties on which also the thermal conductivity of a material is depend. Okay, so here I have listed some of the materials and its thermal conductivity. So it will be crystal clear to you how it differ from material to material, and you tell me who is good conductor and who is good insulator. Okay, so first one is a silver, whose thermal conductivity is, now I have first column is serial number, second column is a material, third column is a thermal conductivity, and its unit is K, and its symbol is K, and its unit is watt per meter Kelvin. Okay, so if you take watt per meter Kelvin, or if you take watt per meter degree Celsius, both the units will not impact on the quantity of that particular material. Okay, so serial number, material, thermal conductivity, serial number, material, thermal conductivity. Okay, so first material is silver, and its unit is 410 watt per meter degree Celsius or degree Kelvin. Okay, whether it is a good conductor or good insulator based on this particular number 410. Good conductor, great, good conductor. Then next one is a, if you take the example of asbestos sheet. Asbestos sheet is one kind of a material used as a tell me, used as a 0.17 its thermal conductivity. Asbestos sheet whose thermal conductivity is 0.17. Tell me whether it is a good conductor of heat or bad conductor of heat, or good insulator. One can say that good insulator. So whether it is good conductor or good insulator, bad conductor, that is nothing but what? In opposite language, good insulator. Okay, so bad conductor means what? Good insulator. Okay, bad conductor means what? Good insulator. Whereas the copper is having 385 watt per meter Kelvin thermal conductivity, and ash is having 0.12 watt per meter Kelvin thermal conductivity. So one can say that the copper is a good conductor and ash is a bad conductor or good insulator. Okay, so aluminum 225, cork felt 0.05, 0.010. Okay, so then cast iron 55 to 65. Now if you compare these two particular things, that cast iron is a base metal and steel it's a alloying metal. Okay, it's steel is its alloying metal or alloying product. So cast iron is having thermal conductivity in the range of 55 to 65, whereas the alloying material, that is steel, is having thermal conductivity in the range of 20 to 45. So which is less than the cast iron, which is less than the base metal. Alloying metal thermal conductivity less than the base metal. Then sawdust having 0.07 watt per meter Kelvin thermal conductivity, whereas concrete is having 1.20 and water is having 0.55 to 0.7. Then glass window, our normal glass window having the thermal conductivity of 0.75, whereas freon is one kind of a gas. Okay, so freon is having the thermal conductivity of a 0.0083. Okay, 0.0083. So there are n number of materials available in the world, and its thermal conductivity differ material to material. Okay, its thermal conductivity will differ material to material, also the composition to composition. Okay, also composition to composition. Now why here the range is provided? Because the cast iron having different types of composition. So in some cast iron the sulfur percentage or carbon percentage is high. In that case the thermal conductivity will be different. In some cast iron the carbon percentage is less or ferrous percentage is low. In that case the thermal conductivity will be different. So the range is provided. Okay, so here also the cork and felt, so depends on its composition. the range is provided. Okay, so it will be in between 0.05 to 0.10. In the same case of a water, okay, the range is provided because it depends on the salt content or minerals content of that particular water. Okay, so composition changes, the thermal conductivity will change. Okay, the composition changes, the thermal conductivity will get changed. Okay, so we are discussed that the pure material or the pure substance is having the higher thermal conductivity, whereas their alloying materials, or if you are adding the impurities in that particular material, its thermal conductivity goes on decreasing. Its thermal conductivity goes on decreasing. So it is a property of any substance. Okay, it is a property of any substance. Okay, and it will be same for the specific composition. It will not change. Specific composition for a specific material, it will not change. It will be remain same. Okay, getting everyone? So just give heading as a thermal conductivity of materials and put up these particular values, because for the MCQ purpose it will be asked a number of times. What is the thermal conductivity of aluminum? What is the thermal conductivity of copper? Why you want to select the aluminum for transmitting the electricity instead of a copper? Okay, or most of the equipments are prepared, or kitchen equipments are prepared by using the copper. Why not it is prepared by using the cast iron? Okay, so like that questions. So these questions are you can answer based on this particular thermal conductivity. Nowadays you can say that kitchen pots are made up of copper. Okay, and ancient era also, the people uses the copper pots. Okay, so uh, so the answer for this all the things is nothing but its thermal conductivity. Okay, answer for this all the things is nothing but thermal conductivity. Okay, and why we are using the jewelry, okay, like gold, diamond, silver? Because it extract that particular material, extract the heat from our body. And why it is extract, or it extract, that particular jewelry extract the heat from our body? Because of that we are using the jewelry. Okay, so no other use of that particular jewelry. It just extract heat from your body. Okay, that is the main purpose of a jewelry. Okay, that is the main purpose of a jewelry. And the fashion is the different thing in this particular era, but the actual purpose to use the silver, gold, copper, and diamond jewelry is nothing but what? The thermal conductivity of that material is very high, and these materials are good or best to extract or to carry out the heat from your body. That is the main purpose of a jewelry. Okay, so here I have not mentioned, but the highest thermal conductivity material is nothing but a diamond. Okay, whose thermal conductivity is very high, and it is the ranges from 1500 to 2000 watt per meter Kelvin. Okay, it ranges from 1500 to 2000 watt per meter uh, watt per meter Kelvin. Okay, so this is the range for the thermal conductivity of diamond. Okay, so you will come to know that how fastly diamond will transfer the heat. Okay, how fastly diamond will transfer the heat. सो ही समजतंय सगळ्यांना की थर्मल कंडक्टिव्हिटी म्हणजे काय? ability of that particular material to transfer the heat. Okay, how fastly that particular material transfer the heat from one location to another location. Okay, that is nothing but what? Thermal conductivity. Okay, and if the thermal conductivity is high, then that material is called as a good thermal conductor, and if the thermal conductivity is low, then that particular material is called as a good insulator. That material is called as a good insulator. Okay, just put up this particular uh, numbers of thermal conductivity as per the materials. Then if you think about the concrete buildings, okay, so concrete is nothing but cement concrete. which is having thermal conductivity of 1.20, and when it mixed with the silica and other material also, limestone, then its thermal conductivity also goes on decreasing. Okay, so concrete is having less thermal conductivity. For that purpose only it is used for the building materials, okay. So what it means, why we are building any or why we are building the home, because we want some space, and in that particular space the environment should be different from the external environment. Okay, that particular space environment should be different from the external environment. So that is the main purpose. Okay, so if you are building the concrete home, in that case we try to reduce in a summer condition, we try to or this concrete will avoid the or transfer the less amount of external heat to the internal space. Okay, as its thermal conductivity is low. And in case of winter season, transfer less amount of internal home heat to external environment. Okay, समजतंय का? ज्यावेळेस गरमीचा सीझन असेल त्यावेळेस बाहेरची गरमी आतल्या कंपार्टमेंट मध्ये किंवा घरामध्ये कमी येण्यासाठी कोण हेल्पफुल करतं, तर कॉन्क्रीट करतं ऍक्च्युअली. का तर ह्याची थर्मल कंडक्टिव्हिटी कमी आहे. आणि ज्या वेळेस विंटर सीझन असेल त्यावेळेस घरामधली जी उष्णता आहे, किंवा आपण म्हणू शकतो आपण एक एन्व्हायरमेंट क्रिएट केलेलं असतं सगळं लॉक करून, तर ते जी टेम्परेचर आहे घरामधलं टेम्परेचर जास्तीत जास्त मेंटेन करण्यासाठी कोण कामी येतं, तर घराच्या भिंती. का तर ती जी आतली हीट आहे ती बाहेर एस्केप होत नाही किंवा बाहेर ट्रान्सफर होत नाही. का तर बिकॉज द कॉन्क्रीट इज हॅव्हिंग लेस थर्मल कंडक्टिव्हिटी. ओके, कॉन्क्रीट इज हॅव्हिंग the less thermal conductivity, so it allows very less amount of heat from internal space to the external space, or from external space to the internal space. So that is the importance of a thermal conductivity. Okay, so shall we move ahead to the next point? Okay, so next important point is nothing but thermal conductivity variation with temperature. Okay, thermal conductivity variation with temperature. Okay, so in materials or in substance solid materials, we have discussed that there are two mechanisms to transfer the heat. First one is nothing but lattice vibration, whereas the second one is nothing but a free electrons. So in metals there are we can say that the free electrons are available in the metals and free electrons are not available in the not metal. So the metals are good conductors of heat and non-metals are the bad conductor of heat or the good insulators. Okay, so why it is happening? Because of free electrons, and free electrons helps to transfer the maximum amount of heat. But we can't say that in non-metals heat is not transforming. Heat is transforming in non-metals also, but the ability to transform the heat is very less in non-metals because the free electrons are not available, so that its thermal conductivity is also less for the non-metals, whereas the thermal conductivity of metals is also higher in the metal. Okay, so thermal conductivity of material is due to flow of free electrons and lattice vibration, or you can say that molecular vibration also. Thermal conductivity in case of pure metals is the highest and it decreases with increasing impurities. Just we have discussed that the thermal conductivity in case of a pure material is the highest and it decreases with increasing impurities. Thermal conductivity of a metal, okay, now important thing, thermal conductivity of a metal varies considerably when it is heat treated or mechanically processed or formed. Now what you should remember here, that it is a mechanical point. Okay, whatever we are performing, the different manufacturing processes in the industries. Okay, so like joining processes, forming processes, these processes also impact on the thermal conductivity of metals. Okay, this particular processes or forging process, we know that machining process, so these processes impact on the more or less impact on the thermal conductivity of that particular material. Okay, because why? Because as we are performing any task, or as we are doing any manufacturing process, in that particular case, some amount of material structure will get changed. Okay, so during the forging also, during the foundry process also, so some amount of material structure will get changed for that particular material, and due to that, the thermal conductivity of that particular metal will get hampered. Okay, so or it will get changed. Okay, so thermal conductivity of a metals varies considerably when it is heat treated or mechanically processed or formed. Okay, then thermal conductivity of most metals. Okay, now important thing, our terminology or our main point is thermal conductivity variation with temperature. Now this is the point where we are discussing about the temperature. Now thermal conductivity of most metals decreases with increase in temperature. Okay, thermal conductivity of most metals decreases with the increasing temperature. Important thing. Okay, underline this particular sentence: thermal conductivity of most metals decreases with the increasing temperature. In bracket, aluminum and uranium being the exceptions. So these two metals are exception. In other all the metals, thermal conductivity of most of the metals decreases with increasing temperature. Why it is happening? If you ask why answer, then it will direct you towards the main concept, that is why heat is transforming in a metals. Okay, why heat is transforming in metals? So in substances, we have discussed that in solids, heat is transferred because of a lattice vibration and free electrons. And in metals, most of the heat is transferred because of a free electrons. Okay, because of a free electrons. But as we are increasing the temperature, so the molecules of a metal start vibrating at their mean position very rapidly, and they create the obstacles for the free electrons. Okay, they create the obstacle for the free electrons, and the transportation of free electrons will get decreased as the temperature goes on increasing. Because of that, thermal conductivity of most of the metals decreases with the increasing in temperature. What thermal conductivity means? What? The ability of a material to transfer the heat, that will get decreases as the temperature of metals goes on increasing. Okay, the temperature of a metals goes on increasing. So why this happen? Because we know that there are two basic mechanism for the heat transfer for the metals. One is nothing but a lattice vibration, and second one is nothing but a free electrons. As the temperature goes on increasing, the molecules or lattice vibration will happen very rapidly, and which will create the obstacle for flow of the free electrons. And due to that, the ability of heat transfer decreases as the temperature increases in case of a metals, in case of a metal. So that we can say that thermal conductivity of most metals decreases with increase in temperature, with increase in temperature. But the two materials are exception for this, that is nothing but aluminum and uranium. Aluminum and uranium, these two metals are exception for this particular sentence. Okay, in case of aluminum and uranium, what happen? The thermal conductivity of this particular aluminum and uranium goes on increasing with increase in temperature, with increase in temperature. Okay, so other are for other materials or other metals, conductivity decreases with increase in temperature. Okay, important thing, remember this point. And then next, in case of a non-metals, in case of a non-metals, thermal conductivity of a non-metals increases with temperature. Okay, opposite to metals, opposite to metals, that is nothing but non-metals. Okay, so in case of a non-metals, thermal conductivity increases with temperature. Why it is happening? Because in case of a non-metals, free electrons are not available to transfer the heat. Okay, the heat will be transferred because of a lattice vibration only, because of a lattice vibration only. So that as the temperature goes on increasing, molecules will vibrate at their mean position very rapidly, and the collision start increasing. okay, and the heat transfer will get increased, so that the thermal conductivity is also goes on increasing. uh, Thermal conductivity also goes on increasing with respect to temperature, getting everyone this point. So in most of a liquid, next is in most of a liquid, the value of thermal conductivity tends to decrease with temperature due to decrease in density with increase in temperature. In liquid, what will happen? So as the temperature goes on increasing, liquid temperature goes on increasing, its density decreases. Okay, its density decreases. What happened? Density decreases means what? The intermolecular force become lesser and lesser. Okay, so molecules goes away from each other. That is nothing but density decrease. Okay, in molecular level, density decrease means what? The distance between two molecules get increases. Okay, gets increases. That is nothing but density decreases. Okay, and we know that if the molecules are closer one, in that case the heat transfer will happen more faster than the molecules having from far away from each other. If you take the example of a gases, or we can say that the air. So in case of a gases, the molecules are very much away from each other, and because of that, the thermal conductivity of the gases is very less as compared to the liquid, whereas in liquid the molecules are closer one. And if the density decreases, the molecules moves, or the distance between two molecules or intermolecular between two molecules will get decreases, and due to that the heat transfer ability of liquid also get decreases. Okay, because of that we can say that the thermal conductivity of liquid goes on decrease due to increasing temperature. But one exception is there for this particular liquid, that is nothing but water. In case of a water, the thermal conductivity increases with increasing temperature. In case of water, thermal conductivity goes on increase with increasing temperature. Now, the next is in case of gases, the value of thermal conductivity increases with temperature. Okay, in gases, the value of thermal conductivity increases with temperature. Why it will happen? Because we discussed that the molecules of gases or air are moving randomly, and the kinetic energy of gases plays very important role. Okay, as we know that at low temperature the kinetic energy of gases is very low. Okay, and it will also impact on the motion of molecules. Okay, and as the temperature goes on increasing, the movement of that particular molecules also get increases, and due to that the collision between the molecules also get increases. Okay, the collision between two molecules of gases, or the collision ratio of that particular gases, are also get increases, and due to that the thermal conductivity of gases increases with increasing temperature. Thermal conductivity of gases increases with increasing temperature. So gases with higher molecular weight have smaller thermal conductivity. Okay, because what will happen if the gases is having higher molecular weight, then their mean free path is also very less. Mean free path means what? Average distance travel between two collision. Okay, between two collision, that is nothing but a mean free path, and this is low for the higher weight molecules, or higher molecular weight substances, and or gases, we can say that higher molecular weight gases, so that the thermal conductivity of higher molecular weight gases is very less as compared to the lower molecular weight. So in case of a lower molecular weight gases, what will happen? The collision ratio is very high, or uh, the uh, the mean free path is, or we can say that the distance travel between two collision is greater in lower molecular weight. Okay, so because of that the gases with higher molecular weight have smaller thermal conductivity than with a lower molecular weight. Okay, getting everyone? This is because the mean molecular path of a gas molecules decreases. This is because the mean molecular path of gas molecule decreases with increase in density, and K, that is nothing but thermal conductivity, is directly proportional to the mean free path of the molecule. Okay, K is directly proportional to the mean free path of the molecule. Okay, getting everyone how it happens? So our main heading is thermal conductivity variation with temperature. म्हणजे काय? How the thermal conductivity varies with respect to temperature. If temperature increases, what will impact on a material? Thermal conductivity. If temperature decreases, what will impact on the thermal conductivity of a material? Okay, that we need to understand. Okay, so we discuss about the metals, we discuss about the non-metals, then we discuss about the liquid, then we discuss about the gases with a higher molecular weight, then gases with a lower molecular weight. Okay, so we discuss these four important points, and these points are very much important in this particular chapter. Okay, then the next thing is nothing but there are various kinds of materials available. So one of the material we can say that the porous materials. So porous materials, if you take example of a sponge, okay, in English it is also called as a sponge only. I'm not remember, uh, but that particular sponge is also called as a porous material. Porous means what? The small holes are present in that particular material. Okay, small holes or voids. It is also called as, in scientific language, it is called as a voids. Okay, so voids present in that particular material. Such a material is called as a porous material. So I have given one example that sponge is porous material. Okay, so in that case, the thermal conductivity of that particular material depends on the which kind of a gas or liquid present in that particular void, okay, or a hole present in that particular void or a hole. Okay, and then thermal conductivity of damp material. Damp means what? ओलसर झालेला. Okay, damp means what? ओलसर असा ओलसर झालेलं material, that is nothing but, or the liquid is present in that particular material, we can say that damp material. Okay, so thermal conductivity of damp material is considerably higher than that of the dry material. Okay, thermal conductivity of a damp material is considerably higher than that of the dry material. So in case of a solid and liquid, okay, last point is also important. In case of a solid and liquid, thermal conductivity is only very weakly depend on a pressure. Okay, so what will happen? The pressure increases on material, then how it will be impact on a thermal conductivity. So in case of a solid and liquid, it is very weakly depend on a pressure. But in case of a gases, the thermal conductivity of gases is independent of a pressure. Okay, so as means what? Whatever the thermal conductivity of gases is there for atmospheric temperature, atmospheric pressure, that will be the thermal conductivity for all different kinds of pressures. Okay, so thermal conductivity of gases will not depend on a pressure. Okay, will not depend on a pressure or independent of a pressure, whereas in case of a solid and liquid, it is weakly depend. Means what? There is small change with respect to a pressure changes. Okay, large pressure changes, then small change in thermal conductivity. Okay, so that is nothing but what? Weakly depend on a pressure. Okay, weakly depend on a pressure. So this pressure is nothing but, one can say that, the external pressure. मेटलवर प्रेशर काय आतून येत नसतो, आपण वरनं जो टाकलेला आहे प्रेशर त्याच्यावरती कसं डिपेंड असणार आहे. ओके, सो इट विल डिपेंड वीकली ऑन अ प्रेशर. ओके, okay, now here there is one equation, that is nothing but the thermal conductivity, the dependence of a thermal conductivity, that is K, on a temperature for most of material is almost linear. Why it is linear? Because linear means what? If you draw the graph of variation of a temperature with respect to variation of a thermal conductivity, then you will get the straight line. So that is nothing but what? The linear. So how we come to that? This graph we need to plot with respect to this particular equation. Okay, so we have to draw the graph with respect to this particular equation. Okay, and this equation tells us that the thermal conductivity, that is K, at any temperature, okay, or temperature T, will be equal to thermal conductivity at 0 degree Celsius temperature in bracket 1 plus beta, that is nothing but temperature coefficient multiply by temperature. At what temperature we, if you consider that thermal conductivity, if you want to find out the thermal conductivity at 25 degrees Celsius of any specific material, then we can find out this thermal conductivity on the basis of K naught and beta. Okay, and this capital T is nothing but what? We have to find out 25 degrees Celsius. So this T is nothing but 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, this T is nothing but 25 degrees Celsius. So K naught is the thermal conductivity at 0 degrees Celsius, whereas beta is the temperature coefficient of a thermal conductivity. And this temperature coefficient is positive for non-metals and uh, insulating material, and negative for metallic conductors. Okay, this beta is positive for non-metals and insulating materials and negative for metallic conductors. Its unit is 1 upon degree Celsius. Okay, 1 by degree Celsius. Okay, or inverse of a temperature. We can say that inverse of a temperature is the unit of beta. Okay, so generally the thermal conductivity follows this particular equation, and from this equation we can find out the variation in thermal conductivity with respect to temperature. Variation in thermal conductivity with respect to temperature. Getting everyone? Any doubt? Any question? Any doubt? Any question about these particular points? Have you noted this particular chart? Please comment in the chat box if you have any doubt, any question. Have you noted this particular chart? Please comment so that, okay. So please note down this particular points. Thermal conductivity variation with temperature. Thermal conductivity variation with temperature. Give the heading thermal conductivity variation with temperature. Thermal conductivity variation with temperature. Thermal conductivity variation with temperature. Write down the first point. Thermal conductivity of materials. Thermal conductivity of materials is due to flow of free electrons. Thermal conductivity of materials is due to flow of free electrons. Thermal conductivity of materials is due to flow of free electrons and lattice vibration and lattice vibration and lattice vibration and lattice vibration. Second point, thermal conductivity in case of pure metals. Thermal conductivity in case of pure metals. Thermal conductivity in case of pure metals is the highest full stop. It decreases with increasing impurities. Impurities means what? Foreign element addition in a base metal, that is nothing but addition of impurities. Okay, so it increases with increasing impurities. It decreases with increasing impurities. Full stop. Third point, thermal conductivity of metal. Thermal conductivity of a metal varies. Thermal conductivity of a metal varies considerably. Thermal conductivity of a metal varies considerably when it is heat treated, or mechanically processed. When it is heat treated or mechanically processed, oblique formed, mechanically processed, oblique formed. Full stop. Next one. Thermal conductivity of most metals decreases. Thermal conductivity of most metals decreases with the increase in temperature. With the increase in temperature. In bracket, aluminium in bracket, aluminium and uranium being the exceptions. Aluminium and uranium being the exceptions. Full stop. Over. Then next point. Thermal conductivity of non-metals. Thermal conductivity of non-metals increases with temperature. Next, in most of liquid the value of thermal conductivity in most of liquid, the value of thermal conductivity in most of liquid, the value of thermal conductivity tends to decrease. Value of thermal conductivity tends to decrease with temperature due to decrease in density with increase in temperature. In bracket, water being an exception. Bracket complete. Full stop. Next, in case of gases, the value thermal conductivity, the value of you can insert off here. In case of gases, the value of thermal conductivity increases with temperature. Next, gases with higher molecular weights have smaller thermal conductivities. Than with lower molecular weights. Means what? Gases with lower molecular weights having higher thermal conductivity than gases with higher molecular weights. Okay, a reverse statement. Then next, this is because the mean molecular path of gas molecules the mean molecular path of gas molecules. You have studied this particular sentence wording in a kinetic energy of a gases. I think in physics or in chemistry there is one, or in have you studied this kinetic energy of gases? My question to you all, whether you have studied kinetic energy in 12th, 11th, in first year, wherever. I will remember this point, kinetic energy of gases. Okay, where you are trying to understand the mean free path, the molecular path, okay, and how the two molecules get collide, and how they transfer the energy and momentum, all these things. Have you studied this or not? Please let me know in the chat box whether you remember anything. Have you studied kinetic energy of gases? So in that, okay, let it be. If you don't want to reply, let it be. Then in that particular case, in kinetic energy of a gases chapter, one terminology, mean free path or mean molecular path. Okay, so mean molecular path or mean free path is nothing but, first of all, we try to understand molecular path or free path. The distance traveled by molecule, the distance traveled by molecule uh, between two collision. Okay, between two collision, how much distance traveled by molecule, that is nothing but mean, that is nothing but free path. Okay, mean means what? Or mean means, mean, it is also called as the average. Okay, mean is also called as average. Okay, so mean molecular path means what? Average distance traveled by molecule, average distance traveled by molecule between two succeeding collisions. Okay, between two succeeding collisions, that average path or the average of such all paths is called as a mean molecular path. Okay, mean molecular path. Okay, so if you discuss, if you apply your logic, okay, so in case of gases, thermal conductivity or heat transfer is happening because of a collision of a molecule, because of a collision of a molecule. Okay, so if this path will get decreased, that is nothing but what? The ability of a molecule to transfer the heat is also get decreases. Okay, so that we can say that the mean molecular path decreases, thermal conductivity decreases, and the mean molecular path increases, that is nothing but collisions are increases and the thermal conductivity increases. Okay, thermal conductivity increases. So that we have mentioned this sentence that this is because the mean molecular path of gas molecules, this is because the mean molecular path of gas molecules decreases with 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 increase in density, increase in density, increase in density, and 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 k is directly proportional to the, and k is directly proportional to the mean free path of the molecule or mean molecular path of gases, mean free path of molecule. Okay, is directly proportional to the mean free path of the molecule. Okay, getting everyone? Now next, thermal conductivity, thermal conductivity of porous materials, of porous, पोरसच्या ठिकाणी तुम्ही समजण्यासाठी स्पंज लिहू शकता, स्पंज. ओके, पोरस मीन्स व्हॉट? वाइड्स असलेले, लहान लहान होल असलेलं मटेरियल, दॅट इज नथिंग बट पोरस मटेरियल. ओके, पोरस मटेरियल किंवा जाळीदार मटेरियल पण म्हणू शकता त्याला. ओके, छोटे छोटे होल आहेत एखाद्या मटेरियल मध्ये, तर ते मटेरियल म्हणजे पोरस मटेरियल. ओके, and that holes are called as a voids. Okay, that holes are called as a voids. Okay, and the thermal conductivity of porous materials depends upon depends upon the type of gas, the type of gas or liquid present in the voids. So that voids filled by which gas or that voids filled by which liquid on that particular material or on that particular gas or that particular liquid, the thermal conductivity of a porous material depends. Okay. Then next, thermal conductivity of damp material. Damp means what? भिजलेले. भिजलेले म्हणू शकतो आपण त्याला, डॅम्प, भिजलेले, ओलसर असे. ओके. Thermal conductivity of damp material is considerably higher, higher higher than that of the dry material, in case of a solid. Last point is about the pressure. Okay, so for operating, two operating factors we have discussed, that is temperature and pressure. Okay, which are the external factors on which the thermal conductivity is depend. Now we have discussed about the temperature. Now the one line about the pressure only. So in case of solids and liquids, in case of solids and liquids, in case of solids and liquids, thermal conductivity is only very weakly, weakly depends on pressure, comma, in case of gases, the value of K means what? Thermal conductivity. The value of K is independent. Independent means not depend on. K is independent of pressure, independent of pressure. Okay, full stop. Next, now we have summarized this thermal conductivity variation with temperature with one equation. Okay, we have summarized this particular temperature variation of thermal conductivity in one equation, and that equation shows the dependency of thermal conductivity. So write down the dependence of thermal conductivity. In bracket K, the dependence of thermal conductivity in bracket K on temperature for most materials is almost linear. Why we are saying linear? Linear means what? If you plot the graph of change in temperature with respect to change in thermal conductivity, then that graph will provide you, or that graph will be the straight line graph. Okay, we'll get the straight line. So because of that, we called it as a linear relationship between thermal conductivity and temperature. Okay, so the equation, write down the equation. K is equal to K naught into bracket 1 plus beta multiplied by T. You can here write down K suffix T. Okay, you can also write down K suffix T. K suffix T is equal to K naught into bracket 1 plus beta multiplied by capital T. Okay, so capital T is the temperature, and at that temperature we want to find out this thermal conductivity. At this temperature we have to find out the thermal conductivity. Okay, and for that purpose it is required to have thermal conductivity at 0 degree Celsius and the temperature coefficient of a thermal conductivity, that is the beta. Okay, so which is the inverse of a degree Celsius. Okay, beta is the unit of its beta's unit is inverse of degree Celsius. Okay, so here where K naught is equal to thermal conductivity at 0 degree Celsius. K naught is equal to thermal conductivity at 0 degree Celsius. Okay, and beta is equal to beta is equal to temperature coefficient of thermal conductivity. Temperature coefficient of thermal conductivity. Temperature coefficient of thermal conductivity. Its unit is 1 upon degree Celsius. 1 upon degree Celsius or 1 by degree Celsius. 1 upon degree Celsius or inverse of temperature. You can say inverse of a degree Celsius. C raised to minus 1. Degree Celsius raised to minus 1. So that is inverse of degree Celsius. Okay. It is positive, bracket complete. It is positive for non-metals. It is positive for non-metals and insulating materials. It is positive for non-metals and insulating materials, and negative for metallic conductors, and negative for metallic conductors. Okay, understood everything? Is there any doubt, any question? Is there any doubt, any question? Whether you understood or not, please mention your feeling in comment box. Okay, or you can unmute and you can answer this question whether you understood or not, or else if you have any doubt you can clear this doubt now only. Okay, okay, great. Whether I am good teacher or bad teacher, that also you can comment, no problem. Whether my speed is fast, speed is slow, whether I have to change something uh, for the betterment, for my betterment only, you can comment in the chat box, no issue. Whether it is okay or not, whether you are understanding the speed is good, and or should I reduce that speed, or should I increase my speed? Okay, okay, yes, okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so we'll stop here. Okay, good teacher. Okay, thank you. Okay, Padge, Pritam. Pritam, you are my hmm, project student, huh? Project group student. Okay. How are you, Pritam? फोन नहीं करते आप, क्या नहीं? अरे याद तो कर लिया करो कभी तो. Okay, okay, it's okay. So we'll stop here. If you have any question, you can ask, or else you can put up your roll numbers in the chat box.